Hey y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Today I'm going to show you a pretty cool trick. See, I'm well aware that there's a lot of people new to this space, at least to the homesteading space. And when you get new birds and you have them in your chicken tractor, no matter the design, well, this obviously isn't going to work if it's a Salatin chicken tractor because they're already inside. So when you get these new birds, everybody always wonders, how am I going to get them back into there at the end of the day? Once you got them out, because you're going to find out in short order that they'd have no problem getting out eventually. It's getting back in that's the problem. So if you have 3 people out here, you can kind of corral them in here, and then if you're patient, you can get them back in there. Well, what if you're by yourself? And folks, I had to do this by myself a number of times, as many of you out there are still struggling trying to figure out how to do it. Well, that's what this video is all about, folks. With nothing more than this tarp and what I got in one of these pockets. Let's see what we got there. We got some old-fashioned, well, not the old-fashioned, but we got some clothespins. I'm going to show you how I go about doing this by myself and how you can train your birds in short order. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this tarp, I'm going to roll it out. Now, if you let this flap too much, it's going to freak them out, I guarantee it. So you want to be kind of genteel about how you go about this part of it. So all I'm going to do is get it underneath the whole thing and drag it from one side to the other. Now, folks, this may take up to a week. Depending on the kind of birds you have, it may take 2 weeks. Now, like I said, if you got a meat tractor or meat bird tractor and you're using Salatin's method, well, they're already in there. But if you know, let's say you're raising layers, well, they're not already in there. So you're going to have to teach them to want to go in there. So all I'm going to do, and let me back up a little bit. In this particular case where we do what I call the induction method, which is basically the first 2 weeks of them being outside, the reason why we triple up that fence is really for a number of reasons. Number one, the holes on the fence are misaligned. So your birds, when they're this small, if you just have a single fence, they're going to get out. They don't get out of this, not when the heat's on. They don't get out. Number two, predator issues. They have a smaller area in which they have to hit, so it limits that as well. But number 3 is part of this reason. During the training, you don't want a giant 164-foot net and trying to shuffle those birds in there. That's why I keep them all in a very, very, very small footprint until I'm confident they can get in here. Plus, it's going to make sense. Here in a minute, I'm going to drag this out to this side over here. Okay, first thing you want to do, before you even get into this, you want to withhold, if they have feed on demand, you want to withhold that feed an hour, maybe 2 before then. So if I wanted, I could go ahead and get their attention, put a little bit of feed down here or something that I know they like, and get all of them basically shuffled up to this side. I didn't do that, but it's not a problem. I'm going to take this clothespin, now that I got it all the way through, and I'm going to do nothing more than just use this clothespin and attach it right there to one side of that fence. I think you see where I'm going with all this. All right, I got it on this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this clothespin, and I'm just going to attach it here. So there we go. It ain't got to be tight. All I need is a deterrent. And I got a couple more in my pocket. I'm just going to kind of put them here in the middle as well. Okay, y'all, now that I have it over here, here's where we get into a little bit of chicken psychology. Remember, these guys have incredibly keen eyesight, but it doesn't work all that well at night. So the first thing they're going to want to do if you have a chicken tractor like this is that they're going to want to hide under it. They need to know where their best source of protection is going to be. 9 times out of 10, it's underneath. So you want to train them to recognize that that hole is where they need to go. So that's what the tarp is designed to do. You may have a straggler or 2. If you push them too hard, they ain't gonna go. But what we wanna do is just make that their best escape route, their best option. So with that said, I'm gonna get these little guys. All I'm gonna do is take this little intermediate spike here, and I'm just gonna kinda, just real easy, I'll get them in batches. You can see them already starting to go. That's starting to be their best option. But I'm going to use this here And don't pressure them too hard, just go easy. All I'm gonna do is use that thing to kind of make their best option right there in that hole. I'm gonna use my body as well, make myself as big as possible. And you're gonna have some that wanna come right back out. That's okay. Real gentle like, stick them in there. So here you go, I got half the batch in the first run. This will probably take me 3 times. All right, that's 2 runs and I got them in. All I want to do is make their best option that chicken tractor. I got one over here. All I'm going to do is steer him. I ain't even going to pressure him. Just a little bit. There you have it. 40 birds, just like that, brought into the chicken tractor, and it took just a few minutes. So like I said, this is not a difficult thing. There are a number of people out there saying, how do I possibly do it by myself? Well, it's tricks like this, but you can't really use them if you take those birds, if you don't shorten their area of operation. You need a small area of operation for this to work. And folks, I just showed how easy it can be. So I hope this helps. I know there's a lot of people out there that can really use this video. So if you know somebody, you yourself are, let us know how it works out for you. And remember, if you need to make yourself wider, grab another one of these. It's easy to do. So folks, I hope that helps. Till next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. And folks, also, I'd be remiss, check us out over there on Patreon. We'll see you next time.